Okay, it's been a day or two, a few days for live commentary. Let's do a live commentary game. Win or lose, I'll stick this on YouTube. So knight c6, huh? A bit of pressure on d5. Can I use the outpost e5 square? With less pressure coming my way, because there's no c5 here, is there? So d4 is a bit more stable, I hope. Maybe even f3 here. I don't mind weakening diagonal. If I can get knight f4, bishop h5, knight h4, knight f4, and then taking on g6. That would be a wretched pawn structure. I hope you guys have been enjoying the videos recently about Fischer. Quite a few games I'd like to analyse at Fischer's actually. He does seem to have a clinical accuracies quite often in his games. If we, I don't know, if I played g4 here and knight f4, I think I'll play g4, maybe knight g3 actually. Knight g3, then f4, and then d5 will be weaker if I play g5 and make sure the knight can't go to h5. So knight g3, and unless there's a knight d4 to try and skewer my queen against the king, that'll be unpleasant. Okay, not at the moment. Maybe h3 then. Maybe cheekily play f4 soon. With h5, I think g5. So am I actually threatening f4? Okay, now the proof is in the pudding. Am I going to get slaughtered because of these weaknesses? Doesn't look like it intuitively. It looks as though I can play h4 next, just to stop h4 from black and put pressure on h5. Let's have a minute and a half time advantage as well now. Whoa! Oh dear, I'm in for a slaughter then, am I? If I take a couple of pieces. Is there any options here apart from taking on h3? But I think I've always, haven't I can't believe that's right. Take on g3, take on e7, takes on h3. That is dangerous looking, and I don't know, is there anything else that I might consider, like knight h1, chicken move, bishop h3 takes, he might take with a pawn, but at least I'm not opening that h file. So maybe knight, as a knight e2, knight h5, king h2, bishop d6, there's f4. But if queen d6, then there's bishop g5. So I'm going to take these guys. I'm going to take these guys and hope for the best. I think queen e2. There's knight d4. Okay, so queen d2 to stop knight d4. Queen d2. Oh, this is going to be really embarrassing. Maybe there's knight d4 anyway. Or by bishop g2. Bishop g2, queen g7, queen h3. It's getting a bit razor sharp, knight d4. Maybe f4, f knight d4. Okay, if I play f4, then bishop takes d5 next. Is this going to be really embarrassing? So bishop g2, queen g2. I think I'm holding on just about to stop queen h3. But okay, his king can't castle because that pawn stopping the legal castling move on either side. So if he has to take time to take on e7, I get knight takes d5 in. Bishop g2, queen g2. I'm still supporting a knight on d5. Okay. Now, a lot of you sort of probably moaning that I should have been covering Botvinnik against Fischer the draw, but I don't know, some of you like this sort of stuff for some reason. I have no idea why. Is it because I'm on the verge of getting completely hacked with like knight h4 or something? So yeah, okay, knight d5, start calculating. Knight h4, bishop h3, queen h3. It's dangerous, but hang on, knight c7 is king e7. What about, I don't know. I can't believe this is happening. I'm going to take on d5. What about knight f6, just trying to get rid of the queens? If takes them, if I play knight f6, take the queen, take on g2, there's rook h2. It's still dangerous, but otherwise rook h2 is winning my queen. So it's a good time to get the queens off, perhaps, and make a run for it. Knight c7 is no good, so knight f6 is the only move to make a run for it. Oh dear, oh dear. It's always the way, isn't it? This pawn is now dangerous. So what about bishop e3 though? Would that keep me in the game? If knight h4, that maybe there's rook. Sorry, king g3, carnivorous king. Bishop e3 to try and play, well, to stop knight d4 and to get the rooks connected. So bishop e3 looks like a good move. But pawn situation is, I don't know. Also, it doesn't look that good. And this bishop e3 to g1, after rook e7, check on d1, and then bishop g1. So knight h4 is king g3. Okay, go with that. They could take on e3, and I can't see I'm any better here. I'm just worse. Am I? Probably. I've got the time advantage after all that. But knight e3, king takes, rook e7, king f3. Alright, I'll throw the check in, and then I'll move the bishop to g1. It's a bit tricky, this. I hope I'm not getting mated. Knight h4 is king g3. What about rook d5 to try and evict the knight from f5? It's a pretty good knight. If I play rook d5, so knight h4, I'm hoping king g3. Otherwise, I'm hoping to be able to connect up the rooks with rook fd1. Okay, if I connect up the rooks, mind you, knight h4 now, king g4, still attacking the knight. 20 seconds though, and I'm at bishop c5 here. Looks as good as anything, I think. Bishop c5. Just try and win a pawn, and maybe threaten rook d8 in the future. But he's only got 10 seconds though. Is he going to mate me? If I take, there might be g2 and then check. But I would always take on g1 and protect g2, so I think I'm going to take. Okay. So I can take here, knowing that g1 is not. It is winning. Oh dear. Rook f1 is pretty worrying. But rook c1 looks pretty strong here. Because if he moves, then rook d8 is mate. If he puts the rook in front, I can take and play rook d1. I'll take and play rook d1. Not a very convincing game by me. I'll try and queen my f pawn now. Just to win on time, really. If possible. Which is not likely at the moment. Oh dear. Uh-oh. How do I avoid a mate in one? Yeah, that wasn't the best game ever. It's got to be said. Oh dear, oh dear. What can I say? This is like, of course, I was just demonstrating to you, trying to. I wouldn't normally, allow my king to be hacked up like this, but I was just trying to demonstrate to you that, if there was a defense, and unfortunately, in this position, it starts to look a bit critical after knight takes d4. So where did I go wrong? Queen takes d4, bishop g2. Doesn't look very pleasant after king g2, queen h3. Queen d4, bishop g2, queen g7. Still doesn't look very pleasant. Queen h3. There's no trick, is there, like queen f8 or anything? What about knight d5? There's no trick. So here it looks tricky, really. So I played f4, which at least puts pressure on d5. So he plays knight f5. Now maybe this is the point where I could have played simply bishop takes h3, forcing rook takes h3. Then queen takes d5. What's wrong with queen takes d5 there? Queen e7, say queen f5. I'm not sure rook h1 works, because the king can always take and check king g2, queen h2, king f3. So I think I've messed up here. I should have played bishop h3. So this was terrible, and now I'm just getting desperate, because if queen takes g2 here, then rook h2. It starts. I've just made the attack really significant here. Oh well. Comments or questions on YouTube? Thanks so much.